Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's time.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Holy God Damn It!
Yo!
I didn't even get the intro of the goddamn show, Tommy!
Damn, Tommy.
Tommy out the gate with 5 subs.
Hold on. Can I say something real quick? Before you get into your whole spiel?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before the night started, I said, my words exactly, Tommy. I was like, I wonder if Tommy comes in here and goes psycho. Tommy, if you have not noticed also, hello, and you are now a VIP of the channel.
Yes, you have been made a VIP. You have obviously earned VIP status, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's still going off. Go ahead, keep rocking away.
Take a bow, son.
Do I even need to be here? Should I just let Tommy just keep doing shit and let the alerts do all the fucking work? Oh my god, I gotta do the math. Yeah, there's another. Yeah, yes. Fucking,
okay, you do the math.
Christ.
I'm going to declare something. Friday night
real
when
quick,
you get off work, Tommy, go home, wash them, put some water on your face, flip up your computer, and you have to log on with us when you get off Friday night. He has insomnia. He doesn't sleep.
3, 6, 7.5 hours added to time.
Son of a bitch.
Wait, now what was that?
Son of a bitch.
AJ Hoover just subscribed.
So D. Yeah. I can't even. Where is this going? Hold on. He gifted 5 more subs. That's 7.5 more hours. So that's 15 hours. And then D. Fucking shit. Fucking goddamn it. And then D.
Oh my god.
D. Just added. So we're at.
No enough. Thank you.
Fuck. God. I love y'all and hate y'all. I love y'all and hate y'all at the same time.
Tonight's topic.
I love y'all and hate y'all at the same. We have a special guest waiting in the goddamn chat. We have a hype train going. This place is going fucking nuts. So I've got to add 18 more hours. So guess who's over 48 hours? By the way,
Yes, it's fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's
Shayna,
Buc-ee's,
right before,
baby.
yes, we're getting the Buc-ee's onesie. Right before the show started, Shayna was so gracious and followed the channel. Shut up! Trying to talk. Shayna graciously joined the channel as a follower. She was then gifted a sub. She didn't get to see her dancing penguin, but she did indeed receive a dancing penguin. 500 biddies, sure, why the fuck not? All right,
Add the time.
fucking, I got, hold on, it's more math. Oh, that's another hour. So we're at 19 more hours. So that puts us at 54 hours. 54 hours.
Jeez.
Coming with another 100 biddies. We got a hype train.
Okay, yeah. So another 100 biddies. So that's another 10 minutes. So we are at 54. I'm just gonna say 15 minutes for math
I
purposes.
can't
It's a
thank
little
every
easier.
single one of you enough, really.
Seriously.
Yeah, you guys are beyond amazing. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
so
for real,
much.
guys. Thanks.
Everyone.
CPG. Y'all are fucking awesome.
Like,
I can watch
and
from
I
home,
know-
sweet
I know
sauna.
a lot of people say a lot of stuff, but truthfully, every biddy and every gifted sub goes back to helping us grow,
Absolutely.
helping us bring more content, having fun times. And right now, I honestly feel like everyone's ready to watch me and Super Beard suffer tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I don't
Dude,
sleep
we're-
anyway, so
we're
it's not a
in
big deal.
the-
But
Monday.
I'm
going
1,000%
into
into. Oh fuck, you're right.
Yeah, dude. You're going
Oh,
into like early morning Monday. now.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. That's
We
gonna
haven't
be.
even started.
No.
Okay. So, by the way, we have a show to do.
Outro.
Yeah.
We have a show to do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geeks and Noobs. I am your host, Super Beard Hoover, who's having a conniption fit and an aneurysm all at once. I smell toast.
Oh, no.
But as with me as always is Kel McCosplay, my wonderful co-host, who will be popping in this weekend. And then of course there's the man below him, the one and only American Cream Dream Husky Rhodes, who will also be popping in this weekend from time to time. But they are not going to be here the whole time. It is that man below me, Ginger Ninja, and myself, who will now be here for 45 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah. So anyways, what's the show about today? Yeah, thanks, Tommy. The show today is going to be an amazing show. By the way, CPG is also going to be there. We have more stuff we'll talk about. But CPG actually has a special guest coming on the show today. Ooh. So the topic, so people know, it's the second part of our music stuff. We talked about songs that were written originally for films that became bangers. Today, we're going to talk about jukebox soundtracks. The best example I can always give is the Guardians of the Galaxy, where you take radio hit songs and you find a way to make them fit into your film. So that's what we're talking about today. And CPG has had a friend use his channel, which, by the way, D just redeemed Stretch. So everybody stretch real quick. I think I fucking need it. I need it. Oh, I've been sweating. Look, you all got me sweating. I got pit stains in my brand new Super Beard shirt. Available in our merch store. So is the Geeks and Noobs shirt. There's Husky Rhodes gear. There's a ton of Ginger Ninja gear. Go get your stuff. It adds time, etc. We'll get to that in a bit. But the CPG, wonderful friend of the show. Oh, hydrate as well. Hydrate.
Oh, yes. Cheers.
Yes, absolutely. He has got a friend of his to come in and take his spot today.
Oh, okay, cool.
Tommy has also redeemed a vape. I can't fucking what am I Paul Rudd and I Love You Man? Vape break.
Oh, does that mean we get to hit? Which vape?
Yep.
The legal one, sir.
Damn it. Can I have my own channel points?
Hey, I don't know what's in that, so it's legal.
Can I have my own channel points?
We'll figure that out.
Me a 15
we have 54 hours to talk about shit, sir. We'll figure it out. On that note, let me find my fucking mouse here so I can bring on our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, stepping in for CPG is a man named Wilf Dreampod.
Hello. All those beauty school dropouts just waiting in the room. I've never had a sexual case against me in my entire life. I swear to God. Some people call me the Neil Sapphire of the South. Some people call me the Paul Rubens of the North. I am Wilf Dreampod, and you better believe there's a real Dream Pod that you can buy on my website. I do not know the name of the website. Johnny, what's the name of the website?
I would like to welcome Wilf Dreampod and mention that thanks to you coming on the show, we have had our greatest hype train ever. We have had our greatest hype train ever, a level 4 hype train. My mouse is freaking out. It doesn't even know what to do.
The entire time.
Going over the rails. Shayna Hill has said dream pod. No, that's a dream boat. I would agree.
I'm a yacht baby.
I am crying right now. Tears are running down my face. So
choo choo indeed, chat. Choo choo.
Does your back start to hurt when you stand like that all the time?
Oh, I'm carried around by 3-4 foot midgets. I haven't touched the ground since 1975, baby. I've been high the entire time. Woo!
Oh shit!
Thanks for love, chat. Reciprocated in your dreams.
Wilf, there you go.
I'm not even talking this episode. It's just the soundboard. I'm done.
I want you to show me.
I'm gonna show you this, whether you like it or not.
I want to feel what love is.
You can catch me in every single Burger King drive-thru across the Northwest East Side.
At this point, I'm trying to get DMCA striked.
No, sir, you're not allowed because that will postpone us.
Don't do
That's a good
it.
point. Yeah, Tommy, I have running tears going down my face as well. Yes, Bree, this is so great. We are all dying right now. D, I logged in and got a Survey Monkey account. I need you to stick around and message me a little bit later. I cannot figure out which one would be best for me to use because I'm fucking dumb. So I'll need your help with that. Survey Monkey.
Survey Monkey.
It's a chimpanzee that stands outside. It's a chimpanzee that stands outside City Hall and gets you to try to sign up to vote for a certain amendments.
Sounds like Scientology. Hip.
Ladies and gentlemen, I had a plan. This show, I promise you, there was structure at one point. It's fucking out the window now.
Oh god, I'm gonna piss my pants.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you'll be on live till 11, but I'll message you later. You told me to keep order. Have you seen who I'm working with?
We've all worked with worse, baby.
Have you met me? I barely can keep order of myself. Right. Wilf, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Colin.
Yeah, not a problem. That's right, Colin. We're going to be talking about radio songs being used in movie soundtracks today. I think we're going to talk about that. Yes, Shayna, you picked the best night to join.
Absolute.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right, D. I need you to keep order. That's 1,000% right.
You're the voice of reason for our show, so you need to be the voice of reason.
Will, do you do weddings? Do you sing at weddings?
I ruined more of them than I am able to contribute to.
Tommy said if you ever get married, he wants you to sing there.
Oh, I'll officiate the whole thing. Officiate it all the way down.
Oh, the way down.
No, Matt.
No.
It didn't.
Oh my.
It didn't go off the rails when Wilf joined the show. It went off the rails the second the show started, and Tommy decided to drop 10,000 gifted subs, and then it was off the rails there. And then we added Wilf, and suddenly we went from being off the rails to being off the fucking mountainside.
Listen to what the flower people say, man.
I love the fact that mic is fucking. I love it. That mic is fantastic.
I'm waiting for the day that Wilf gets both of them connected, both mics. So he just like stands up and starts singing. Yes. I'm waiting for that day, actually.
Okay.
So super period. What are we talking about today?
Yeah. So
Husky, can I just say something real quick?
Yeah. No. Go ahead. Fuck it.
Your camera looks amazing tonight.
You got like real like cinematic epic vibes going on tonight.
You got like I want to kiss you with my mouth open and my eyes closed.
Wait, who?
You?
Me?
Yes.
Oh.
You've got like the right shadow look. You've got the lighting behind you. It's just like it's a nice HD quality. It's like we're in the middle of a Christopher Nolan movie.
Trying to be professional. No, I use like a 45-inch like flat screen TV as my monitor, and I have it full screen, so it kind of darkens it up a bit. And I got this little 5 below ring light guy.
It's doing wonders for you, sir.
Well, not that we're measuring size or anything, but I have a 55-inch monitor that I'm using. But teach their own.
I got a 6-man. I got a rubber chicken. So suck it.
You do have a rubber chicken. I'm jealous of that chicken.
Yeah, Bree, this is not the show topic at all.
No.
We are 20 minutes in. We are 20 minutes in. Okay, so as I said before, we're talking about radio soundtracks, and like I said, the best example I can always give to people is the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, which, by the way, has kind of kicked off this new phase in movie making where everybody's doing like the classic rock songs soundtracks to their movies.
Right.
But wait. Didn't it really start off with Iron Man?
I mean, not really, because there was only, on the first Iron Man, there was just the one AC/DC song. The entire Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack is it's literally part of the character. Like, the character's playing the Walkman the whole time, and everything is off that stuff. And now we're getting entire soundtracks. But Iron Man is still a good example in that we had, we had two songs, I'm sorry, in that one. We had Back in Black, and then we had Iron Man by Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two great examples of taking a radio hit, a song that was a huge commercial hit, and finding a way to make it fit into your movie. I mean, Iron Man, like the song Iron Man, of course. I mean, the movie's Iron Man. Right. I mean, the song was written after Ozzy Osbourne read an Iron Man comic book. Like, could there be a more fitting, like, you know...
It came full circle.
By the way, he read it, didn't understand it, thought the pictures were pretty, and wrote his song. So that's it. School of Rock movie, too. And that one actually... the School of Rock not only falls under Jukebox soundtrack, it also falls under musical, in a way. It's like borderline a musical as well.
Kind of.
So,
Did they make a musical out of School
yes,
of
they
Rock?
end up making a musical about it. And that's where there's a couple movies like Across the Universe is a great example of the one that kind of like transcends Jukebox soundtrack and musical, because it's a musical that adapts Beatles songs into a different variation. So there's all these different things. Pixels is another Jukebox soundtrack. Yeah, that entire soundtrack is all clicks. Instead of there being like a score and stuff
Rock of Ages.
Rock of Ages. Trailers tend to do it a lot. Like a lot of trailers. Like we watched the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer, and it used Beyond the Yellow Brick Road by Elton John, or Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John.
About to say, sir.
You had the original Suicide Squad movie, which I hate to bring up because that's always a point of contention here. But like they had the Bohemian Rhapsody done by Panic at the Disco was on that soundtrack, but it was also used in the commercial that then before the movie got completely re-edited and completely changed altogether. But what are some other ones that you can like trying to start with movies that like their entire soundtrack is commercial songs? I mean, you've got like what was that one? The one Almost Famous.
Almost Famous, yeah.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Kingpin, thanks for the follow. Got yourself. Oh, that's Kingpin Brian Malonis. Thank you for the follow.
Brian!
You got yourself a dancing penguin, sir. Kingpin
What's
Brian
up,
Malonis.
buddy?
Welcome to the
What's
show.
up, bruh?
Tommy, I don't normally do this, but could you drop one more gifted sub, sir, for the Kingpin Brian Malonis? I wouldn't normally do that, but that's yeah. Can we do that? Coop also followed. How did I miss that follow? Where did that why did that not get an alert? Coop, I owe you a dancing penguin. I don't know where. I don't know how that didn't come up. Hackers is a great example of a soundtrack. Now, AJ, you mentioned Danger Zone from Top Gun. There it is. Thank you, sir. That also adds an hour and a half to our time.
Thank you, Tom. You are a saint and a scholar.
I'm just going to make it 56 hours. It's just going to be easier on me. So we're at 56 hours. AJ, you mentioned Danger Zone, but Danger Zone was actually part of our last musical one because that song was written specifically for the movie. It became a radio hit after that. Purple Rain. Purple Rain is an interesting one, Tommy, and I think it counts in both. It counts as an original song for a movie, but also a radio hit that became the movie because the movie was actually written for the song versus the song written for the movie. So it kind of falls in both, but Purple Rain is a perfect example. Yes, D, we are at 56 hours. Brian Malonis is that. Well, Brian Malonis, you're already. I want to mention Brian Malonis will be on the Wrecking Crew Saturday night, which we will be simulcasting on the Geeks and Noobs. So, Brian Malonis, you will be a part of our subathon this weekend. Just so you know,
it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, Dazed and Confused is another great one.
Dazed and
Um,
Confused, yeah.
That's very beautiful.
I love
like
that
for
movie.
for me, like I love like I actually thought the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 soundtrack was better than the first one. But if you could think of like think about that one movie that kind of had that it's got that epic it's like a great compilation of songs, like you're not going to skip any.
Right.
Like again, Forrest Gump was one for me. Love that soundtrack.
The American Wedding soundtrack.
Yes.
Mamma Mia is considered a musical, but it still kind of falls under what we're talking about.
It's all
Yeah, because it was
yeah.
radio hits. Exactly, Ginger. That's a great point that Tommy brought up and that you jumped on here. So there's also a whole other like two. I'm so sorry. There's like 3 other conversations going on in chat as well. You got yeah, so it's great. Trolls, they sing, but see now Trolls counts as songs written specifically for the movie. Mortal Kombat. Now wasn't the Mortal? But wait, wasn't that written specifically for the movie and it became a radio hit? So that would fall under our previous category. The Blow soundtrack. John Selfbet brings up the Blow soundtrack. Of course, he would bring up the word blow. You pervert. No, but the Blow soundtrack. What was another one?
What about Maximum Overdrive?
Ooh.
Maximum Overdrive's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. That's an underrated one.
Yeah, today was the first day I went back on TikTok in a long time, and I watched a video about Maximum Overdrive, and I was like, you know what? That had the whole thing was done by AC/DC, but it was all their classic songs.
Yeah. Warriors.
The Wayne's World soundtracks kick ass.
Wayne's World.
yeah.
Oh,
both of
yes.
them.
Oh, yes.
Both of them had bangers on them.
The first Wayne's World movie revitalized the world's love of Queen. Like, they talk about that all the time, that without that movie, they probably are not in the status they are now.
Oh,
Like, it really brought it. Like, for some reason, Queen got, like, after Freddie died, they were forgotten about for some reason. It was very weird. Like, they kind of just disappeared into obscurity for a bit, and then Wayne's World brings out Bohemian Rhapsody in the infamous car scene. I got whiplash recreating that scene as a kid. I got legit whiplash in my neck from doing it. So yeah, Moulin Rouge, yes, and again that one falls also under musical, but it is it's all contemporary radio hits, done in like a old timey sense. So that's great.
He can't handle it.
I don't even think he had a brownie today. Yeah. All right, D. Have fun on the show. We'll make sure
I'll be in the chat tonight. D.
we'll pop in and say hi.
We'll be in the chat.
Yeah.
Tommy brings up the Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers. Yeah.
And the Remember the Titan
absolutely.
soundtrack.
Remember the
Yes.
The Titan soundtrack.
Have you noticed though that a lot of these soundtracks come from a specific era of music for the most part?
Yes.
A lot of them are that late 60s to 70s classic rock section of music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's one soundtrack I mentioned to you outside of the show. It may fit more towards the first episode of this, but the Judgment Night soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like, it's an entire. For those people that don't know the movie, it's apparently Emilio Estevez's movie from the early '90s where he's a cop. That's about all the information that I know about it. But the soundtrack.
So
beats
just about
ass.
every Emilio Estevez movie from the late 80s, early 90s.
If it's not the Mighty Ducks, he's playing a cop in a dark drama.
Yeah.
Like Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Although you know
it's
what,
like
you know what Emilio Estevez movie? This is kind of off subject, but whatever. Men at Work.
Oh yeah.
Him and his
Work.
brother doing Men at Work.
Yeah. Golf clap. Golf clap.
Golf clap? Golf clap.
I used that for years.
You can leave your friends behind.
Oh, Biodome.
Nope.
Biodome.
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
That's a fantastic soundtrack.
The Pest
And-
also has a great soundtrack.
The Pest has a really
And-
good soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
I got a movie.
What is it, Gingy?
You ready for it?
Let's
has
hear
one
it.
of the best soundtracks for all of you emo kids and punk rock skaters. The movie Grind.
Oh yeah,
Grind is great.
Grind is
hot
a good one.
action cop, flavor for the fever.
Yeah. Wedding Singer. Wedding Singer. A couple people brought it up in chat. That was the other one I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Um,
Breakfast Club.
now, Don't You Forget About Me was also written specifically for Breakfast
Oh,
Club.
That's right.
Was
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
right.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah, that one. That's
every
on.
night.
Yeah. The movie Yesterday, which is again a Beatles, like if nobody knew the Beatles existed, and this guy from this Indian American decided to just rip off all their music and become a huge star. Pulp Fiction.
Oh, Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction had a good soundtrack.
Also, Jackie Brown. A lot of
Jackie
Quentin
Brown had a
Tarantino
really good
movies.
one, too.
Sing,
Pitch
sing
Perfect.
This
to-
is good, but I think Rhythm.
Pitch Perfect's actually a good
Perfect.
reference.
That one that's a perfect bridge between contemporary jukebox soundtrack and musical because they used them as like kind of the crux of the thing. Sing and Sing 2. Oh, by the way, I don't care if you don't have kids. Go watch the 2 Sing movies. They're animated movies with animals, but they're phenomenal
You need a
movies.
Step Brothers.
Phenomenal.
I can almost quote the whole damn movie because I do have kids. Even my older kids love the Sing movies.
Dude,
Yeah,
just
they're-
hear me
it's so
out.
good.
You know what has a surprisingly good soundtrack?
What it is?
Pop Star, Never Stop Stopping.
Yes.
All Lonely Island stuff, and it's really funny.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And the dude, Chris Redd, does a phenomenal impression of Tyler the Creator,
Oh, hell yeah.
and it's so funny because that song that he performs is believable as a
Tyler the Creator song.
song.
Oh, that's
AJ
amazing.
said it. AJ said it.
Yeah. Dirty
Dirty
Dancing.
Dancing.
That's it. Yeah. I was waiting for somebody to bring that
There
out.
we go.
But Dirty Dancing falls.
My life.
Last week, because all those songs were written for Dirty Dancing. But you know what movie with Patrick Swayze has a jukebox soundtrack? Ghost.
Roadhouse.
Well, Roadhouse as well, but Ghost.
Oh, Ghost. Yeah.
Ghost, yeah. Yeah, God, I forgot about Ghost.
John put the Mark Wahlberg movie Rockstar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Oh,
say
that's
what
really
you will
great.
about the movie itself, some of those songs were heaters, dude.
But it's also written. It's
Stand
also
Up and
about a true.
Shout with
It's literally a true story about a guy becoming the lead singer of a band.
Yeah, it's,
So
it's the story of Tim Owens from Judas Priest.
yeah. So like, of course, that
A
one's
lot of
gonna have.
movies with great sound. Here's one we haven't mentioned. No, because this one it's on a gray surface because half the songs were written for the movie, half the songs were radio hits. But Queen of the Dams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Aaliyah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Queen
yeah.
of the Dam. That was that was Jonathan Davis of Korn. He actually took singing lessons before becoming the composer of that album, just so he could sing better on that album. But you're right, half of them were written for the movie, and then half of them are radio hits. AJ keeps bringing AJ. You're an episode too late. You know I love you. I love you, AJ. But you're talking about songs that were written specifically for movies and not they became radio hits after the movie came out. We're talking about ones that were radio hits long before the movie and got added to the movie, like Guardians of the Galaxy. You would have been great 2 weeks ago when we did the other episode. Romeo Must Die. Yes.
Oh
Man.
hell yeah.
Another Aaliyah movie, by the way.
Here's another
Um,
one, and a lot of people sleep on these. The Fast and Furious series. All of their soundtracks have been radio hits.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
did you go?
Yeah.
I don't like when he does this. He's gonna scare me.
He's probably
there.
killing his cat.
No, I just don't like Fast and the Furious in any way. shape,
Oh.
or form. We're not here for family, baby. We're here for each other.
Jersey Boys and
Jax,
Walking
you
on
look just-
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Jax, you look just like Aaliyah. Unfortunately, just like my daughter, I lost her in a plane crash.
that
You guys
was
need help with a pilot?
Oh my god.
Oh, there was a snake on the door.
Oh.
It's just a rope.
What a twist!
So there's another soundtrack that we have not brought up yet that I'm kind of surprised has not been brought up yet, and that's SLC Punk.
Oh fuck.
Extreme corporal punishment, man. Ah. and they exploited, and fuck, oh man, that whole montage. I love SLC Punk. It's one of my favorite movies. It was one of the defining movies of my youth for the number one reason that the most important thing that a very young dear friend of mine named CPG found out was that all of this shit is fake. It doesn't matter. And that the only thing that matters is how true you are to yourself. So you can go to Harvard after your friend dies of a terrible overdose and still listen to Screeching Weasel every day. You can still do it. You could be a manager for a giant industrial company that makes the lights turn on, and listen to the Bull Weevils in full blast in your car on the way in and get stopped by security and told to turn it down. You say, "No, man, I'm not on the clock yet." The movie is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Early Matthew Lillard movie, probably one of his best. My personal favorite Matthew Lillard movie, outside of his appearance in Scream. The soundtrack is stacked with just the
huge,
essential
massive
punk rock of the
soundtrack.
time.
Yeah. So AJ brings up another one that we found out last time we did this. We thought was a jukebox soundtrack, and it turned out to be an original songs written originally for the movie, Saturday Night Fever.
Oh,
we had our minds blown. We thought Saturday Night Fever was a bunch of Bee Gees songs, and then they made a movie. No.
Yeah.
The Bee Gees wrote the song specifically for the movie, and then released it as an album after. And we did not know that. We found that out last week because Saturday Night Fever was originally, when I thought about this trilogy of shows, that was going to be on this episode. But we found out when we did our research for the first one that it was actually original soundtrack. So that was pretty crazy. But Dee, before she gets ready to go to do her show, she's waiting on her link. She dropped another good one, Basketball.
Basketball.
Steve Perry. Steve
Basketball.
Perry.
Have a beer.
Hey, we said no more Journey psychouts.
Is that with the sucking the chrome off a toe hitch? Is that that movie?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a real big fish played in the back.
I got all the chrome off of this for you. Do you want me to start on this one?
Yeah. Oh, Sherry.
Good.
I do that all the time. It's like, you should have been gone.
Oh my God, you're not good. Oh, Beard.
Coyote Ugly. What?
I'm gonna wake it up and you keep singing Steve Perry, baby.
I love me some Journey.
Steve
Love me
Perry.
some Journey.
Soundtrack to La Bamba for the obvious reasons.
Oh, La Bamba.
Yeah.
Freedom took the air and landed safely.
Damn
The
it.
soundtrack
Shayna
for
took my Coyote Ugly. Of course, Self Bet would have mentioned Coyote Ugly, but Shayna got to it first. Coyote Ugly's one. Snow Day. La Bamba, yeah, La Bamba for sure. What was another one? Crap, I had one in mind and I completely forgot it. Cruella.
Did you feel? And I should have been done.
Cruella is a very interesting one.
Well,
Now, Dangerous
Interesting.
Minds falls under the Dangerous Minds kind of bridges both gaps because the song "Gangster's Paradise" was written specifically for Dangerous Minds, but the rest of that soundtrack are radio hits. The movie Elvis that just came out, that one obviously. Obviously, any musical biopic like Walk the Line, stuff like that. Yeah, we talked about Wayne's World, Super Bro. Yeah, that one's a huge one. That one's massive. I had another one in mind and I completely lost it. Damn it. But what do you think it is about? Do you think that maybe writers sometimes have think about James Gunn, for example, in Guardians of the Galaxy, where he literally writes a script with a soundtrack in mind.
Yeah.
And makes this the script kind of fit that. Do you think that gives them an advantage, or is it a little bit of a buffer, like a help? It's like an assistance, a stepladder, as it were, to getting your script to where you want it to be by just playing music and finding out how it fits together. Is that does it feel like, unlike where you write songs, like we talked about this last week, writing songs for movies gives the songwriter a bit of an advantage because you have the epic emotion of the film to play off of. And that's why most Kiss from a Rose, Uninvited by Alanis Morissette for City of Angels, by the way, one of the greatest songs of all time. I didn't mention it last week, but it's amazing. Any Kenny Loggins song for most of his career. Like, there's so much emotion behind it. Lost Boys. No, I think Lost Boys was radio hits too. Shrek, yes. Although we found out that
Miss a Thing. Was that written for the movie?
that was written for the movie.
Yeah,
we talked about that last week, and that was also Aerosmith's only one and only #1 hit, and their first ballad. But Shrek, the rest of it, no, they didn't count as ballads because of the
Angel
way they played
didn't count as a ballad.
Angel came out.
No.
Angel didn't count as a ballad because it got played on rock channels as a rock song and not a ballad. Although Angel, I think today's standard it's a ballad, but it didn't count as a ballad then. Blues
gotcha.
Brothers, Karate Kid. I want to say that Karate Kid's main song was written for the movie, but the rest of the soundtrack is Peter Cetera just going ham with a bunch of Chicago songs.
It's because you're the best around. And no one's ever gonna get you down.
Thank you, AJ. That was the movie I was thinking of. Big Chill.
Big Chill. Big Chill's got to go.
That has a fantastic soundtrack.
Yeah, it's really good.
And it's one of those like sleeper films, like when people talk about, like, oh yeah, that is one of the best films ever made, but then you just forget about it for some reason.
Yeah, it's my mom's favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, it's a great film. What was another one that had like one of those sound? Well, I Love You Man, which I mentioned earlier. All the Rush songs on that.
Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski's another good one. Oh, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Yes, that's a good one.
Fantastic soundtrack.
Yeah.
UHF, fantastic soundtrack.
Oh yeah, love
UHF. And UHF, like, of course, you had Beverly Hillbillies by Weird Al come out of that. Classic. Yeah, Roadhouse we talked about. Dirty Dancing, those songs were actually written for the movie in Dirty Dancing.
Rock of Ages.
But yeah, Rock of Ages. But like we said, Ghost, another Patrick Swayze classic. That has a great radio soundtrack to it. But like back to my question, do you think similarly how last week we realized that songwriters have a slightly easier chance of making an epic song because you have the emotion of the script to play off of? When writing a script, especially like I said, the James Gunn style where he purposely writes his script so that songs fit into it, does that give them a leg up in writing a script when you know you're going to use that type of soundtrack?
I think it definitely helps. Like, especially in the James Gunn movies, he's able to sync things together really well. Here's a good comparison, and I don't mean to kind of drudge up this old chestnut, but if you look at Guardians of the Galaxy and the use of licensed music in that, and how well it flows together, versus another movie called Sucker Punch that uses covers of licensed music and how they don't fit together. It's the clash of like one of them was specifically written to flow in, and the other one was added in post as in like this would be a banger to put over this scene. I think that's like the main difference.
Yes, because that does happen too. Okay, so
heavy metal,
yeah, heavy metal is a huge one. Heavy metal is a huge one.
Clueless is a good soundtrack too.
Yes. Now here's another one, but this one is classical music, but I'm going to count it Fantasia.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to count Fantasia.
I was thinking the song Flip Fantasia by Cantaloupe.
Oh. But Bree also brings up Blades of Glory, the that figure skating movie with Will Ferrell. That's a great one. Another one that has a great soundtrack is Cutting Edge. Another figure skating movie. Cutting Edge, about the hockey player who got injured or got thrown out of the league for fighting too much.
No, he didn't. He got injured.
It was an injury. Okay.
Yes.
I could have sworn he got thrown out of the league, but it was an injury.
My mom. I used to watch that movie with my mom all the time. Mr.
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah, I love that movie. But then he goes on to be, his only option is to be a figure skater, couples figure. And then like the figure skater, she's normally a singles competitor, but she's not doing well. And it's this whole thing, and they end up falling in love. Full Metal Jacket. Apocalypse Now is another one. Apocalypse Now.
Oh, Matt Wargames, The Sandlot.
Yeah, The Sandlot.
Yes. Sandlot. Period pieces. Like Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. Period pieces tend to end up with soundtracks because it helps solidify them into. So that's another thing. A radio soundtrack can help solidify your time period without you having to beat people over the head with the time period.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Dreamgirls is another one. Again, also biopics are an easy pick because, like I said, Walk the Line, Elvis, like Get On Up.
This is so damn
If you've never seen Get On Up with Chadwick Boseman as James Brown, holy fucking shit, that movie's good.
Oh,
Get
so
on
good.
the scene like a sex machine and go watch it.
Yes.
Rocket
movie-
Man too.
Rocket Man's a great one. Bohemian Rhapsody is completely inaccurate as that film is. It's so good. But like I love that Get On Up opens with James Brown showing up at the strip center he owns with a shotgun and shooting up the place while there's some kind of like AA meeting or something going on. And that's how the movie opens. And I love it.
Wow.
It's so good. Chadwick Boseman nails it. And it's also done in a very weird way where he breaks the fourth wall throughout the movie, like talking to the audience. It's really cool. It's really well done. Oh, nice. Garden State. That's the one I would... No, that's not the one I'm thinking
Garden
of.
State.
There's one with Matthew Broderick and I think Kirsten Dunst. Or Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, Election?
Yes. That one has a good soundtrack too. Almost Famous, I mentioned. That's a great one. Revenge of the Nerds.
Is a fantastic
Revenge of the Nerds.
soundtrack. Like, my favorite Postal Service song is on that. That Phil Collins cover.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. I might do that for karaoke.
Oh, right on. Speaking of Phil Collins, Hangover.
Yes.
Hangover has some good ones on it, including In the Air Tonight when Mike Tyson knocks out Zach Galifianakis. High Fidelity, and there's another one. High Fidelity. There's another one that's a record label one. It's got Liv Tyler in it.
Empire Records.
Thank you, Empire Record.
That's
Empire Record. Yeah,
that's a great one. Major League.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, you got to. John Moxley owes his entrance music to that movie, because the version of Wild Thing he uses is the one from the movie, Major League.
It's by X. It's an X cover.
X. Yeah, that's the name.
Tarzan. Now the Tarzan soundtrack; those were written for the movie, but the Lion King gets a little bit of an exception because they had a remake of the Lion King and used the songs from the original soundtrack, which became radio hits. So it kind of bridges the gap by making the remake. Yeah. So that one goes. The Magic Mike movies, yes, 1,000%, yes. Magic Mike, motherfucker, yes.
All of them filmed here in Savannah.
Yeah, and they are based out of. They're based out of Tampa, Florida, because Channing. It's loosely based on Channing Tatum's life. He was a stripper in Tampa before becoming an actor.
A far out of left field soundtrack. Although these were officially these were made for the movie. Mastodon does the entire soundtrack for Jonah Hex.
Oh yeah.
And it's the only good thing in that movie because that movie is fucking awful.
Never saw the movie, but I love me some Mastodon, so I was like, fuck yeah, this soundtrack whips ass.
Very fortunate to see Mastodon live once.
I have to.
And it's so good. Yeah, stripper Kevin Nash. Yes, we got a stripper Kevin Nash in Magic Mike. Trying to think of what other ones. Not Chicago, but there's another burlesque style movie that has an actual radio hit soundtrack, and I cannot think of it to save my life. Although technically the Chicago remake, Renee Zellweger, because Liza Minnelli Chicago, those became radio hits. And so that one kind of falls into it, but... Well, no, Space Jam, those songs were written for the movie, especially the Michael Jackson...
Was it...
Jam!
Yeah. The burlesque movie you were thinking about, was it Moulin Rouge?
It might be. We talked about it earlier, but that one... Oh, no, Burlesque! Thank you, Bree. That's the name of it.
Burlesque.
The one with Cher. That's the one I was thinking
Oh,
of.
yeah. Okay. I always forget about that one.
And Christina Aguilera, yeah. 50
Ready
First
Player
Dates.
One?
Yeah.
Ready Player One's got a good one.
Yeah, that is a good soundtrack.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good
It's mostly
soundtrack.
It was mostly like film scores at some points, but they had like like it had the New Order. New Order was really good on that.
Yeah.
That one was really about the song. Those songs literally were put in there for that, like for particular reasons, for particular scenes. Similar to like in the Shining scene, we get the Shining soundtrack, etc. Like so, like it was that one. It's very that one's very plug and play, very much like square peg, square hole kind of thing. Yeah. Do you think, in recent memory at least, that we're getting a bit of an overkill when it comes to the Jukebox soundtrack, though, because of what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy and how popular that was, that every movie seems to be trying to follow suit. Even like period pieces where they're trying to make like medieval versions of modern songs and stuff in certain movies. Are they doing too much? Is it one of those things like, because remember we had a period of films that was nothing but disaster movies, and then we had like a period of nothing but like dinosaur movies, and then we had like zombies forever and a day. Now it's the superhero fatigue that we're starting to get, but also we're getting this radio soundtrack overload. Is it getting to be too much? Is it time to kind of dial back and maybe go back to the days of writing songs specifically for movies?
I think it's just getting started because the two real big hit songs right now are, and I only know this because this is what my significant other listens to, is a Dua Lipa song. I think it's Dua Lipa, or is it Doja Lipa?
Doja Cat?
One of those. Yeah, with Elton John. And there are aspects of Elton John's song into the song that they made together. It's not a cover of Elton John. They do the song together, but aspects of one of Elton John's songs sneak in there, little Hall notes too. And then Britney Spears and Elton John just did a song together where aspects of his song was used in that song.
Really? But it all ties back to Elton John.
You're right. But
can we also talk about
this re-emergence is part of it.
Can we also talk about the Ozzy Osbourne Elton John duet?
Yeah, that shit was wild.
That song is so good.
It's insane.
That whole album. Get that Ozzy Osbourne album. That whole album fucking just rocks. That Post Malone song with him.
Oh, dude. That's
Riot.
Whips.
Oh, my
ass,
God.
Actually.
Dad Hat. How's it going? We are at...
Dad
Hat. We are at... Dad Hat.
Coach Ron.
Coach Ron, how's it going? We are at 56 hours, Dad Hat, so I will indeed be wearing the onesie.
They're going into Monday morning, Hoot.
Yes. So yeah, good times. Don't start that shit. You better go to sleep when we get off the air and not wake up until right before Friday Night Fight Night tomorrow, sir.
Listen, sir.
You better put yourself in a coma for a night.
I got a wrestling mask somewhere here that covers my eyes. I'll just be.
You also snore like a bear, sir. So we're gonna notice. Okay, it's another set. We're at 57 and a half hours. Yay! Woo!
57 and a half hours. And
so we're going to start
9 subs to our goal.
So here's the deal. With the subathon, we are going to start at 11:30 p.m. We're going to take a half an hour after Friday Night Fight Night to kind of get our stuff together, get everything set up. So from here on out,
smoke weed.
So basically 57 hours from midnight, so we're at 57 and a half hours, is what? So 24, 48. So it's 9 more hours. So that's till 9 a.m. Monday. That is till 9 a.m. Monday. If we keep this up, we're going to go right into Punk Driver Monday night.
Who's on that show?
That show just
Guys, my bedtime is 9 p.m. I'm going to need naps tomorrow on Saturday.
Driver.
Well, Shayna, unlike us, you won't be stuck on air the entire time. You'll be able to have as many naps as you would like. Dad Hat says, as much as someone who works in the medical world, I feel like I must be responsible one who talks about the dangers of sleep deprivation. Sir, you're talking to somebody who suffers from severe insomnia. And I have been dealing with sleep doctors for the last almost 10 years now. I'm fully aware of the dangers of sleep deprivation. I live that life. My life is sleep deprivation. So for me,
let's hook up to a machine.
So for me, this is not that huge of a deal. Ginger's in for a wild ride. I'm the same guy who played 22 hours of God of War Ragnarok straight until fucking Twitch crapped out on me. I would have gone the full 36 or 40 hours or whatever it took me to win it. I was going to go. I'll do it. Like when we got Resident Evil 4 coming out at the end of the month, I'm going to probably do the same damn thing then. So I'm all for it, but we'll see how it goes.
I have a secret.
Yeah. You need to make sleep masks that say sleep deprivation.
I love that idea.
Yeah,
That's
Ginger's
hilarious.
gonna be loopy.
Coming soon
yeah.
to the merch store.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
I have a plan.
No, I don't know. I don't think we have.
I have a plan.
Shayna,
think we
don't tempt him because he's going to make those if they're available on the
I have a
store.
plan.
I'm literally checking right now.
Do you know what
I'm
was
literally
on
checking
the
right now.
on the soundtrack for Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead,
Oh, they don't have sleep mask.
which actually is a pretty decent like the Jukebox soundtrack that goes along with that.
Mhm.
Yes.
There is a cover of Down with the Sickness by one Richard Cheese
Oh,
Let's
fuck
find this
yeah.
song right now.
that is phenomenal.
I love Richard Cheese.
Yeah,
He's
that's on the bucket list. I have to see him once. He's got a residency in Vegas, so hopefully I'll
Oh,
be able to
God.
get there.
TGN trip to Vegas to go see Richard Cheese.
Yeah, you're gonna lose me.
You're gonna lose
Listen
me.
to it right now.
There's a 6'4", 350-pound man with us, and now he's just gone.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
Holy shit, he's at Treasure Island on the ship. You ever just like in Grind? Literally just like that. That soundtrack is fucking great too.
Oh, yeah. Ginger needs to be hooked up to electric shocks. If he drops off, he gets shocked.
There we go. That's creepy.
That looks horrifying.
That is horrifying.
That is
Never.
nightmare fuel if I have ever seen it. Jesus Christ.
Holy
Yeah.
damn you, beard! Damn you!
Oh
Excuse me, my
man.
eyes are up here.
I was trying to get it to where his eyes were cut off. It was just like his nose showing, so that you could you could wear his beard.
Like, okay, that's funny.
That's what I was
If it's
trying
just
to
like-
do.
If it's just like the nose down, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
It's the second set of eyes that are fucking it off.
yeah.
Matt Ward,
Yeah.
if you like the Punk Driver stuff and you find yourself in the neighborhood of some Punk Driver merch, I have it on good authority that CPG himself will be dressed entirely as Mankind for an entire hour if CPG or Punk Driver merch moves. Hashtag merch moves. Oh, that's like Uncanny Valley.
That's
Yeah.
still a little weird.
That's the weirdest video game character I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're working your way up. You're not done yet, or working your way down.
That's
I'm not-
weird.
I'm not putting those in the story. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No.
I'm not doing it.
That's what
I'm not doing
big
it.
bearded men make
All
themselves
right,
look like if
let's
they're
see.
huge anime fans in games.
Shayna said that's her sleep paralysis demon.
I'm glad I can be supportive and helpful.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
You're just laying there and just.
Oh god, my face hurts.
That sound like Neil Diamond.
Because of course the sleep
Alright.
paralysis demon has to sing like Scott Stapp.
Yeah. Gets in an
You're waiting
elevator.
for-
Can you take me higher? He gives up his seat on the bus. My sacrifice.
Sure.
Wake up in the morning and make your scrambled eggs.
Oh, you know the goons too.
I let some bacon on the side.
Creed today. We're making scrambled eggs.
Speaking of merch, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to go to the merch store.
Hey.
If you get, by the way, if you get $50 worth of Comic Punk Guy or Punk Driver merch, Actually, make it we're gonna have to make it $40 because 2 items is $40. So we'll say 40. CPG will be okay with that. So you buy 2 items, either CPG or Punk Driver related. He will do his Mankind cosplay during the subathon.
I kind of really love that snapback.
But yeah, you've got like, you've got different options.
Both of them are sick.
I actually really like this one.
Yeah.
Personally. Also, I thought it
I
gave
like
you a
that
little bit of
one.
a slight White Sox feel. I figured he might like that.
That Punk Driver one though goes hard as fuck.
Yeah, it does.
It's so good.
Makes
Yeah,
my
Punk
my
Driver,
cheese
the
and
hat,
everything going.
hoodie, the brick version of the hat. We've got the new Wrestling with Toxicity shirt. Hey, look, Bree's
love
got
that.
merch. Tribal Queen, both shirts. You can get it in a black and a
Nice.
crystal blue. The beanie comes in a black or an Oxford navy. Ooh, fancy navy. Got the
Fancy.
Friday Night
Fancy.
Fight Night hat and shirt. You can get the shirt in black, green, or blue. Those look like Reptar from Rugrats is awesome.
Yeah.
There's the Ginger Ninja Dick Kick City shirt. The Ginger
definitely
Ninja tennis
getting that.
shoes. If you ever want to walk around with a redheaded bearded man on your feet, there you go. The beanie, the shirt, tank top, hat, the bucket hat.
Hey, fucking bucket hat.
You're gonna love it. The Ginger Ninja Twisted Hot Take Steel Tumbler, as well as the mouse mat. The Husky Roadsman sliders. The Husky Road shirt available in gold, ash, and black, as well as the beanie and the hat available in black, black and white.
Okay, I
and-
do gotta say, I'm not a big
White and
beanie
black.
guy, but I do love that beanie. I really do.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so cool.
You also got the Husky Roads desk mat. MJ Duplessis has a shirt. Hey, the Super Beard shirt that I happen to be wearing right now. It's
Hey,
available
look at that.
in the blue, the black, the mustard, the red, and the white, as well as the Kelmic cosplay in the dark heather, black, and white, and the Geeks and Noobs mat. You got a hat, Wrestling Toxicities, other logos, and all, of course, the classic Geeks and Noobs gear, and my old Let Me Explain from my old gimmick on TikTok. That's what it is. Thank you, sir.
Bree says
So, yeah.
that if she sells a beanie or a shirt, she'll sing a ballad to Von Wagner.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Ballad to Von Wagner.
But
So
Vince,
somebody
Vince,
buys-
when are we getting the words shirt back?
I'm gonna make a new one. I'll make a new one.
Okay, because I need that shirt.
Yeah, we
especially
all
after
stumble
my-
over our words.
after the whole box of tears debacle a while back.
Yeah. So we'll get that. We'll get that one back as well. So
Or
back on
just
top,
do
just
it-
talking about that. So again, if you buy that now,
Oh yeah.
any merch, if you buy the shoes, if you buy Ginger Ninja shoes, we add 4 hours to the timer. You got 24 hours to do that. Any other piece of merch, will add 2 hours to the timer if you buy it before the start of Friday Night Fight Night. Which, by the way, that technically has to be included in our time as well, because even though we're going to take that half-hour break, nobody's getting a nap at half an hour. So we're going to be going.
You don't know me.
You gotta have to be awake.
Cool nap.
Ginger and I have the unique body type to be able to sleep like this.
I've done it.
It is the greatest thing because no one messes with you ever. You ever been on a public bus and done that? I've done that while I'm awake. People leave me alone the entire time.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
But we are sitting at, like I said, we're at 57 and a half hours. So, but then you add the 4-hour show before that. We're basically going to be live for minus a half an hour in between the two shows. We're going to be, so
60
58
hours
plus
almost.
4, 62 hours.
62 hours.
Yeah,
Is
so
the
that's
Staying
going to be.
Alive soundtrack as good as Saturday Night Fever's?
No.
It is. It's
No.
a sequel
It's a
directed by
sequel,
Sylvester
and
Stallone.
It doesn't quite get
I
there.
forgot that Sylvester Stallone
There's a lot of
directed
this in it,
Staying
'cause-
Alive.
John Traub was real in it during that time.
So Matt Ward brings up an interesting point. You need to have jump scare for bits, so in case Jack starts to doze off. Well, if you look down in the under the about me section where the panels are, there is a audio thing. Let me see if I can pull it up. Community. Nope. Content. Nope. Settings. Channel settings. Nope. I need to go to the channel. I'm doing all this work on the side. So if you go under the About Me section on the Geeks and Noobs Twitch, there is a panel specifically for sound. So if you donate, you can use bits to do text to speech. You can type something. There's a John Cena one. There's a dun dun dun. There's a jump scare for 500 bits. So you can do all of that via that panel, sound alert panel. So we do have that. So if you donate bits, it will not only add time, but you can jump scare us. I just realized that I'm showing Tommy this. Fuck.
Wah wah.
Tommy's going to be able to
Wow.
get something out of his money. Yep, there you go. Anonymous played Owen Wilson WoW for 100 bits.
Wow.
I kind of wish it was louder, but I don't know how to make it louder.
We'll work on that.
Is there a way to make it louder?
Wow.
No, volume's up to 100. I got it all the way up, so we'll see how it goes. So that WoW one, it was a little bit low, but I know the jump scare one is loud, but that's 500 biddies. So.
Have you guys ever seen?
Oh wait, somebody just donated, didn't they? Fuck.
I didn't hear anything.
Did it? No.
I didn't hear anything go off either.
Yeah, neither did I.
Usually we'll hear this.
Oh, maybe it was just me testing it.
Have you guys ever seen Tom Hiddleston do his impression of Owen Wilson?
That I heard.
Okay,
killed.
cool. So there's a volume, actually, there's a preview sound volume, and it tells you where the volume is. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's all kinds of ones. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff
Pie
you can do.
series has phenomenal jukebox soundtrack, especially American Wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, American Weddings is probably the best of this whole series.
Because they had "Learn to Fly" by the Foo
Yeah.
Fighters, and that was like the rebirth of that song because it had to die after 9/11.
Yeah.
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 I think there's some other Marvel movies, like we talked about, like you mentioned Iron Man having, you know, the Black Sabbath Iron Man and having AC/DC. There's a couple other AC/DC songs. But you also got that great Soundgarden song, which was kind of their, hey, we're back as a band. But that was actually written for the movie. And it became a hit. Now I can't think of the name of the song.
For which Marvel movie? For Iron Man?
Avengers.
Oh, Avengers.
It was the credits song for Avengers. And I'm gonna look it up because I'm gonna feel dumb if I don't figure this out.
Yeah, because I can't remember.
I'm just gonna look up Avengers soundtrack. If I could spell Avengers, what the fuck? Words are hard, okay?
Exactly why we need that shirt back.
Words are hard, and so am I.
Damn it, beat me to it.
Where's it at?
Wilf just is in his own groove, and I'm just enjoying watching him.
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying the show.
And I don't even have any ones.
Live to Rise. It was called Live to Rise. You've also got I'm Alive by Shinedown, Dirt and Roses from Rise Against, Even If I Could, Papa Roach, Unbroken, Black Veiled Brides, Breathe by Scott
What a
Weiland,
lineup.
Come Back by Red Light King, Into the Blue from Bush, A New Way to Bleed by Evanescence, Count Me Out by Pusher Jones, Wherever I Go, Buck Cherry, From Out of Nowhere, a Faith No More cover by Five Finger Death Punch, and Shake the Ground by Cherry Bomb. How many
That
covers
makes
has
me
Five Finger Death
upset.
Punch?
Too many.
Five
But-
Finger Death Punch covering Faith No More. That makes me fucking.
Yeah.
I feel
What about
that.
Faith No More covering Lionel Richie?
Fuck yeah. Just
That
Mike
song
Patton can do
is
anything
so
he wants
good.
to.
What is it called? It's something Sunday.
Limp Bizkit's cover of Faith is fucking amazing.
It's a great song. Yeah, it's a great song. What is it?
Really is. Do you think they would have had as good a career as they did without that cover?
Oh yeah, because you got all the basically the wrestling hits of the '90s.
True.
And then you have like the only Limp Bizkit cover that's not great is the Behind Blue Eyes cover that he only wrote for the Gothica soundtrack so he could make out with Halle Berry.
Yeah.
I actually it's not it. The original is obviously way better in terms of Behind Blue Eyes, but I do like the Limp Bizkit version of Behind Blue Eyes, except for that breakdown in the middle where the computer voice is in it. Spelling, that's stupid,
so weird.
But
yeah.
So Faith No More covered "Easy Like Sunday Morning" by Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
And if you've never heard it, I would play it, but that would be a definite strike. Please go check that out. It's so good. Definitely worth checking out. So that's a good one, but we're way off topic now. But Sheen's like, oh, I love that cover. Oh, I'll see myself out. No, I do like Limp Bizkit's cover of Behind Blue Eyes. I just think that the breakdown in the middle with the computer voice, it pulls you out of the song. But the rest of it, like I do like the cover of it. Obviously, it pales in comparison to the original.
Right.
But like, whereas like there are certain covers, like again, like Faith No More is easy. Like it elevates the song to a whole nother level. But that's something that also kind of happened a lot in like the late 90s, early 2000s, that bands were just covering classic songs for soundtracks. It almost felt like, because I was in film school as I started to really realize this, it almost felt like they were getting commissioned to write songs for a movie, but were too lazy to do so. So they just found a song that matched and covered it instead.
Right.
Because there was a real run of coverage for movie soundtracks.
Goldfinger covered 99 Love Balloons.
Yeah.
There was the cover there. I forgot who covered it. That did the cover of Mrs. Robinson from Wayne's World 2. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Summer of
there was the Sixpence None the Richer cover of There She Goes in the So I Married an Axe Murderer soundtrack.
Yes.
By the way, great movie.
I love that movie. It's my favorite Mike Myers movie.
10 Things I Hate About You had a great soundtrack. By the way. Heat pants now.
Look at the size of that boy's head.
I bet he cries himself to sleep on his huge pillow.
I think I went a little far on that one, didn't I?
I'm on the new diet. These are Brooks to juice diet.
Against All Odds.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
That's a good one. Yeah. What about Flashdance? That one I have to double check. I don't know if those songs were written for the movie or they were radio hits that became. So I have to double check on that one, but that one might count.
That one might fall in because I think Maniac was a hit.
A hit before. Maybe. What was another cover that was made for a movie I was thinking about? Shit. It was in the same vein as So I Married an Axe Murderer. And now I can't think about it.
I still can't believe this has been a great. I don't know what you're talking about.
All the songs in Footloose, weren't they written for the movie except for like that one song that was part of the dance?
Quiet Riot was one of the first songs on Footloose.
Yeah.
They used radio songs for majority of it.
I'm pretty sure everything else, because I know like Bonnie Taylor wrote I Need a Hero for it.
Yeah, I Need a Hero.
Which that's another great cover from the Shrek 2 movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, by the way, Bonnie Taylor's oh, I don't know. Y'all have computers, look it up. I'm doing all the work. Oh shit, like what's that's a good point.
Yeah.
What's that song? Oh shit, the Bonnie Taylor song. With the video, like it has the greatest like literal video ever.
Is it
Oh shit. Why am I God damn it.
I can't think of it.
I have an interesting fact about the song, but I can't even remember the name of the goddamn song. Total Eclipse of the Heart. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah.
Eclipse of the Heart.
Total
Actually,
Eclipse of
any
the Heart.
Band appearances.
So that was written by the guy who wrote Meatloaf's songs. I forgot the guy's name, but he was Meatloaf's writing partner. He was in the process of writing a musical about vampires, and he lost all his funding. And Bonnie Taylor went to him for a song, and he literally just pulled a song from the musical, Total Eclipse of the Heart, and gave it to her. Total Eclipse of the Heart is a song about vampires. Just like Toto's Africa is a song about werewolves, you will never prove me wrong. There's also a reason you don't find vampires in Africa, because they bless the rain sound in
Bless the
Africa.
rains down. I've used that.
That's the rain down in Africa.
Kicking it
used
old
that dad
school,
joke
Jamie
so many
Kennedy.
times in this house.
You know another movie that doesn't get talked about as far as a great soundtrack, and it is all classic songs, but they're also all radio hits, technically, is The Mask.
Oh
With
yeah.
Jim
Yeah.
Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm. Every song in it.
I'm
I'm the king of the rumba beat. And the rockers could go chick chicky boom, chick chicky boom.
Start dancing and I blow your brains out. Those the cops in those movies.
Yeah.
The Pokemon
Kicking it
movie
old
from the
school. Jesus Christ. I don't think I've that movie
Yeah,
came and
Kicking
went
it old
very
school.
quickly. There was Jamie Kennedy and Paula Abdul.
Oh boy.
I would just like to say that Paula Abdul is a saint of a woman and a lovely person, and I got to hang out with her, and it was amazing, and she was so cool,
Very nice.
and somebody who you think would have an entourage and doesn't at the slightest. She's also like 4'10" in heels. She is the tiniest human being.
So am I. Imagine it.
But yeah, she was amazing. I met her because she was in the Impractical Jokers movie. Like that was kind of the whole crux of the thing. They were trying to get to the concert, and so she was at the after party, and I got to hang out with her and stuff. She was super super nice, super cool. You know, of course, I had to tell her that I had got a crush on her after the Opposites Attract video with the cat. Great time stuff. Paula, awesome person. There's a lot of comedies like that too. Like I think obviously you can look at like the Jackass soundtracks. Like if you actually go pick up a Jackass soundtrack, they're just banger after banger on those. There's a lot of comedies of that style that have just great because you're not going to write songs for the movies like that. You're just going to use radio hits. But they usually have great soundtracks too. And there's what's great about soundtracks like that, and like I said, and like the movie Highlander kind of falls under both. Because those songs were written for Highlander, but they also released it as an actual album called "It's a Kind of Magic," and it's also Queen's highest selling record to date. Like it's their most successful record. "It's a Kind of Magic," and there were songs that were actually never even used in the movie. They were all written for the movie, but there were songs that weren't even used in the movie that became radio hits. So there's again, it kind of bridges the gap there, and that's like, but there's an album. So like. Thinking about the albums, the amount of times I'm going to be twisting that over this subathon is going to be insane. I'm going to wear out all the hinges on this bitch. What is a soundtrack like? So going about radio soundtracks, think of a movie that was just shitty, but the soundtrack is a banger that you will listen to all the time.
Ooh, that movie where Channing Tatum's girlfriend gets amnesia or gets in a car accident. It was filmed. A lot of it was filmed here in Chicago, and she's wandering around, like getting her bearings in Chicago again to OK Go. That was pretty sweet. That movie's dog shit because it's got Channing Tatum in it, but like,
it's Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams, right?
Yeah, they're both terrible. I hate both of them. But like, I mean, I still think that Channing Tatum is on location in Vancouver in full Gambit cosplay, and no one's told him the movie isn't happening. And he's just surrounded by beer cans, muttering in Cajun, just waiting for a film crew that will never arrive.
I actually like Channing Tatum. I think he's better when he does comedies, but I also like I think the Magic Mike franchise is great. But like he was good in Lost City that just recently came out. Him and Sandra Bullock. I think obviously in 21 and 22 Jump Street he's phenomenal. I like him. He's also a really just he's a sweet dude. But
him and This Is the
I like
End.
him in comedies.
Yeah, I think when he sticks to
him
comedies. Yeah.
When he's the Gimp and This Is the End.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? Oh my God, it's Channing Tatum.
Yeah, you see that? I slide in that shit every night.
A Walk to Remember is the name of the film. A Walk to Remember. Bree has helped you out. Of course, Bree knew the sappy romance movie about somebody losing their memory. No, I'm just kidding, Bree. Please don't kill me. But yeah, that one. The Punisher soundtrack, by the way. So the Thomas Jane Punisher soundtrack.
Oh yeah, you had like Chevelle was on that. You had who else was there? Someone else, the big profile that was on that.
Well, you had Seether doing Broken with Amy Lee. Now that was written for that movie, but that song, I fucking love that song.
I'll be right back.
That's one. Okay, that is one that I want to do with karaoke, but I got to have somebody to do a duet with me on that one to play the Amy Lee part. But like legit, that Punisher soundtrack. Shayna Hill has an Evanescence tattoo. I'm sorry. CPG has a couple Five Finger Death Punch ones, so you're not alone. All right, Shayna. All right, Shayna, you're up. You're on. You and me will do it. Oh, The Vow is the Channing Tatum one, and you were talking about the Shane West Mandy Moore film. Got it, Bree.
Yeah.
Oh, Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
I haven't seen that.
It's good. It's good.
It's really good.
It's really fun. It's really fun. I highly recommend it. I think it's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
The soundtrack to The Green Room is a
Oh yes.
And believe
Yeah,
it,
dude.
yeah, that one is really, really good.
That is really good. That was a good movie though too.
Yeah, that was a fucking phenomenal movie. There's a movie that I remember watching where I believe like the Cramps do the entire soundtrack. That would be a phenomenal movie because of that.
Channing Tatum was in Free Guy too. Yes, he does have a part in Free Guy. He is somebody's avatar. It's very funny. Very funny.
Yeah, that movie's hilarious.
Yeah, Free Guy's great. I liked it a lot.
There was what was I gonna say? Damn it. There was a soundtrack I always liked listening to when I was growing up. After the Freddy vs. Jason movie came out, I thought that soundtrack was banger.
Oh yeah,
because you had like Mushroom Head and
it had the first Kill Switch Engage song with Howard Jones.
Yep. Yeah.
It was When Darkness Falls.
Oh God.
I had that loaded up on my old MP3 player and listened to it all the time.
Dude, that made me like completely. I was already a Kill Switch Engage fan with Jesse Leach, but then I heard Howard and I was like, oh,
and then when like just a year ago that they did the song together,
The Signal Fire, dude. That's
my God,
beats ass, dude. It's so good.
My brain was ripped out of my ears, and I was like, yes.
Oh, did you hear that Howard and Adam D are working on something?
It's called Scion or something like that, right?
No, that's him and Jared Dines, that YouTuber.
Oh, I thought that was Adam D and no, it wasn't Device. That's
Serpentine Dominion was the thing with him and Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, okay.
Device isn't Device.
Device is David Drummond's
David,
band.
yeah, the lead singer from fucking Disturbed. It was like it's almost like his version of 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, it's
what Device is. It's an industrial one. I think another soundtrack that's really good, and it's again a combination of songs written for movies and then radio hits, is the Scream series, like the Scream soundtracks.
Yeah.
We got, like I said, I found out about System of a Down through Scream, because the song Spiders was on that soundtrack.
Like
then there's
Scream 3 had some ass beaters on it, because like Slipknot was on it.
Yeah.
And there was like a bunch of fucking people on it.
You also had
Static X.
In Scream 2, you had "What If" by Creed.
Yeah.
Where at the climax of the song, he says "What if" 17 times, and I love every second of it.
What if?
And it is
In a room with a button-down shirt completely open and fans fucking everywhere.
See-through silk shirts. If it wasn't a mesh top, it is a see-through silk shirt. So 90s, but I loved it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ninja Rap. Well, that was actually written for the movie. Although it's not a cover of Ice Ice Baby, it's a sample of Ice Ice Baby. Because when you change the lyrics and change the words, you're just sampling the song. Which Ice Ice Baby is also an illegal sampling of Another One Bites the Dust. Or no, Under Pressure. Under Pressure. So that was a whole big thing. But yeah, but still, like, there was a couple songs in the Ninja Turtle, like the second Ninja Turtles movie. They went away from a score and went more to soundtrack style. So that one. But yeah, I think the Scream franchise, I think as far as horror movies, as franchises go, arguably has the best overall soundtrack setup.
Overall, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Does Cool as Ice count though?
Should have won an Oscar.
Cool as Ice, I don't think counts as a radio or a jukebox soundtrack. It counts as an original soundtrack because I think every song in it was for the movie. I don't think he had released them prior.
Right.
Oh, he'd released them, but no one listened to him.
That could be the hitch there. So I could be wrong, but nobody ever heard it.
Oh,
He was selling them for $3.99.
It's that zero give with a hero.
Oh god.
Titanic
line
does have
hurt
some
me.
classic songs
right?
on it.
So bad.
A lot of period piece movies obviously will have classic songs on them, and even though jukeboxes didn't exist at that time, it still counts as like a jukebox soundtrack because they're classic songs put on. So Titanic is one of those, even though My Heart Will Go On was written for that movie.
Jafar near, Jafar far, Jafar wherever you are. I really like Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar. Celine Dion, thank you for writing that song for that movie specifically. I will see you tonight in my chambers.
Oh God.
We're gonna play Nintendo.
Gonna play games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
This is the portion where Wilf Dream Pod is imitating David Hasselhoff eating a chicken sandwich. Yes. I wanted the buns to be grilled.
Oh, but that reminds me, Dodgeball.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Great segue.
AJ, how are you going to time out our guest? How are you going to time out our guest?
Well, I mean, rules are rules.
You
know what happens if I get timed out? I just go outside and smoke.
Yeah. All right, you got a 3-minute timeout, Wilf. For some reason, AJ timed you out. He'll be back.
Can I volunteer as tribute?
Volunteers tribute. Please.
Somebody time out Ginger Ninja so he can go take care of some medicinal business outside.
Daredevil's another good soundtrack.
Daredevil is another.
Oh yeah.
That Nickelback
and that's one of those movies. I mentioned that you play.
Get out of here, bitches!
Yep, you're out.
Bye, Ginger.
Bye. But Daredevil falls under that category of really shitty movie, but banger soundtrack you listen to.
Yeah.
Absolute.
Such a waste of a Kingpin too, because he was so good.
He was. My Clark Duncan, God bless him.
Oh yes.
Party never stops, baby.
I know. I brought him back a little bit earlier, but I was the only one seeing that in the green room, and I had to share it. I just had to share it.
I appreciate you for it.
Yes.
God, it's so good.
Why
Oh my
did it
God.
have to happen?
You know what? That reminds me
I
of another
remember
movie
that
soundtrack that we haven't
fateful
mentioned yet.
day.
Is it was damn it,
And
what
fell
was it?
into
Boogie Nights.
I got you,
Harambe's
Boogie Nights.
cage.
Oh, Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
Yes.
Yes.
I was a stunt double for Mark Wahlberg in that movie.
I believe it after that performance.
I got one. The Cable Guy.
Oh,
Cypress Hill.
Yes. Yes.
Cypress Hill killed on that soundtrack.
Jim Carrey's cover of Somebody to Love. Or,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like-
You might remember this song from Robert Jefferson Airplane.
And a little
It's about the Rolling
documentary
Stones,
called
The
Give Me
Nightmare in
Shelter about the
Altamont.
Rolling Stones and their
night
Nightmare in
the-
Altamont. That night the
That
open
night the
chapter
Hells
was
Angels had their
taken
way.
away. Tonight, it's my turn.
I can
And the
quote
truth
that
is
fucking movie so
told to be lies.
I could fucking quote
I'm
that.
sorry.
I'm stone sober right now. This is wonderful.
I know you are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. A lot of people shit on that movie as like arguably his worst film. I fucking
Bullshit.
love Cable
Oh.
Guy.
I love that movie.
What are you doing? I love that movie.
Forced to do battle.
Are you talking
This isn't
about
Star
Alien?
Trek.
By the way, another slept on Jim Carrey movie, not a comedy, is the number 23.
I fucking loved that movie.
There's a lot
That
of
movie's-
saxophones in that.
Yes, that movie is phenomenal and has a pretty good soundtrack. But the number 23 was when I saw that, I'm like, oh, somebody got pissed that he didn't win an Oscar for Truman Show like he was supposed to, because he should have, because Truman Show is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And
I
he's just like,
completely
all right, fuck
Absolutely.
y'all, watch
Biggest
this.
robbery of the century.
What
Mhm.
what movie? What horror movie had "Destroyer" by Static X on this? Or a Static X song I remember on the soundtrack. It might have been.
Oh.
Didn't the Super Mario
might-
Brothers movie have like a soundtrack like that?
The Bob
wasn't
Hoskins,
that-
John Leguizamo one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the one you're thinking of, but that just like it. Every time I think about Static X, I think about the guy who played Toad, even though it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not Wayne Static, but
God rest his soul.
Met Wayne Static when I was 14. He was a weird dude. He was a good dude, but he was weird. Told me to use an entire bottle of Elmer's glue in his hair.
the song was featured in a commercial for WWE SmackDown vs. Raw. So we got that.
Think.
Oh, AJ mentions Con Air.
Oh, Con Air.
Yeah.
A very interesting soundtrack. A very interesting soundtrack. What was the song? What was the name of that? What was that Leanne Rimes song that became the lead song of that movie, which doesn't fit that movie at all?
Oh, fuck, yeah. God damn it, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Hold on. I have the internet in my hand.
How do I live?
Googly.
Yeah, How Do I Live? Yeah.
How do I live?
That became the freaking anthem of that movie, and it made no sense whatsoever for that to be the anthem of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a weird soundtrack, but I mean, it still works. I can't find what movie Destroyer was in.
It might not
But-
have been Destroyer, but I remember there being a Static X video after a horror movie, and I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers, the movie with John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins did have a soundtrack, and it's got some big names on it too. Of course, you had Walk the Dinosaur, Breakpoint by Megadeth. Love is a yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's
Static X was on the Punisher Warzone soundtrack.
Ah, there we go. That's it. That's the one.
That was another hellacious soundtrack.
That soundtrack, yeah.
Hatebreed,
I actually
Man
love that
Down,
movie though. Like I actually
Oh,
love
it's
that
exactly
movie.
what it should be.
now this is cool.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg has a tie in to the Super Mario Brothers movie from back in the day. he performed a song called "I Want You" with his group Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Huh. Okay, so Static X with Dave Mustaine did a song called "Lunatic" on the Punisher Warzone soundtrack. Psychosocial by Slipknot is on there. Genesis by Justice, Refuse Resist by Hatebreed, Bulletproof by Curly, Take Me Away by 7 Days Away, Showdown by Pendulum, Fallen by Seether. So Seether has the rare honor of being on 2 Punisher soundtracks. Because they did Broken for the first Punisher film, and then they did Fallen for this one. Rob Zombie did a song called Warzone, so that one was written for the movie, but all the rest of these are radio songs. Interesting.
Saw 3 had a killer soundtrack. Mastodon, Slayer, Lamb of God.
Yeah.
That's some sick ones on it.
That's a good one, too. That's a really good one, too.
The soundtrack to Studio 666. Oh, that's original. Those were all originals. No, it really wasn't. It was a concept album that got turned to a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one, like, it's weird because it never got released as an album, but they weren't written for the movie either.
Well, it got released as an album, but it was just under Dream Widow. It wasn't under Foo Fighters.
Oh, it did get released. I thought it had to
It's really good. It fucking rips.
It's so good, dude. It's sick as fuck.
Also, technically, Metallica had the Through the Never movie, which is a concert, but also a movie.
The Green Goblin kid was in it.
Yeah, and obviously, it's Metallica, so every song's a fucking banger.
True story.
Yep.
So that one, I love that movie too. Like, it's weird as shit, but I love the idea of the that set was something they actually traveled. The collapsing set, like where it collapsed on them in the middle. That was part of their traveling set. I'm like, that's amazing. Which is also I'm actually kind of shocked that James Hetfield went for that after the shit that happened to him, where like the pyro went off wrong. So I would think anything like, no, we're gonna have a very static and normal set. Nothing happens. Nothing goes wrong. Where it's like, I would imagine like that would be like, no, he's like, no, we'll have collapsing sets. That's fine. Have giant things falling down.
Yeah, screw it.
And he's like, whatever. We only live once.
Yeah.
Which they just released a brand new song. I haven't listened to it yet. It came out yesterday. I need to listen to it. And apparently it's a very, like, it feels like a very deep cut of like classic, like Ride the Lightning.
Well, that's kind of like that Lux Eterna song.
Yeah, I love that song.
Recently, I was like, holy shit.
By the way, that's now the Lux Eterna song is now the theme song of NASCAR, making Metallica the only band to have 2 songs as the theme song of NASCAR. They had Fuel Free Ever, and now that one. It's like, that's a weird thing.
Are you talking about Lux Ether?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so weird that I like see his son around here all the time.
Really?
Yeah. James Hetfield's son, Castor, is in a band down here called Bastardane.
Huh.
He plays drums in it. Very sweet kid. Castor's fucking cool as shit. The band sounds like Volbeat.
Ugh.
The singer basically sounds like Glenn Danzig if Glenn Danzig didn't blow his voice out. They're pretty solid. It's like Corrosion of Conformity, but if Danzig was singing.
Oh, okay. I saw Lars Ulrich's son's band open for Local H in Chicago.
Oh,
and it was just him, and it was just a guitarist, singer, and a drummer.
Oh, 2-piece deal?
It was not great.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a heads up to Kel, the David K interview is going to be delayed once again. He has unfortunately come down with laryngitis.
Go figure.
We were going to have voice actor on David K, like legendary voice actor David K was going to come on and do an interview yesterday. But he had to reschedule, and then he was going to be on tomorrow, but he has come down with laryngitis. Obviously the worst thing for a voice actor to ever come down with.
True.
Yep. Because those pipes are the money makers.
Yeah, so he unfortunately...
This guy has voiced so many things.
Yeah,
basically anything that we watched in our childhoods, this guy has been a part of.
Yeah, he's been doing it since '89. He was in G.I. Joe. He was in a lot of English dubs of animes. He was Megatron in Beast Wars. He's also the only person in history to voice both Megatron and Optimus Prime in Transformer series. Because in that newer Transformer series that came out just like 10 years ago, he was Optimus Prime in that. He also was the voice of Arishem the Celestial in the movie The Eternals. So he was that. He's played Jarvis in almost every Marvel animated series. He's been the voice of Jarvis. So really, really cool. It sucks that we have to postpone, but I understand his health. So that will be coming to the channel. That'll be on YouTube because we have to do it in the middle of the day. So that'll be on YouTube when we get a chance to do it. But they said like give him like a week or two to recover, and we'll figure it out. It's like no problem. Just keep me informed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Also, while I'm at it, we're going to pre-record an episode 1 week coming up of the Geeks and Noobs podcast because we're going to have the one and only Mr. Kennedy, a.k.a. Mr. Anderson, Ken Anderson, professional wrestler. He wants to come on and he wants to talk video games and movies and stuff. So we're going to have him on. We're going to pre-record that episode because of his schedule, but we will have that on as well. So that'll be in the next couple weeks as well. So that'll be a lot of fun.
When the hell were you going to tell me this?
I just did.
Okay.
I found out yesterday at like 1 a.m. Leave me alone. Or technically this morning at 1 a.m.
Right.
If you want, I'll start texting you when I'm still producing his show at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll gladly just light you up if you want me to.
That's fine.
All right. You heard it here first. We got it on. We got it recorded.
My phone's on Do Not Disturb. I ain't worried about it. I'll see it in the morning.
So I feel like this kind of wraps up the episode on sound. I think this particular section there are more jukebox soundtracks than anything else when it comes to movie soundtracks. There's just we could probably go on for hours and hours and just like, oh yeah, this one, oh yeah, this one. And like we said, there are some where the writers incorporate the music into the movie to where it fits perfectly. Then there are some that just, oh, you know what, this song will fit on this scene. And then there are some that they just try to shoehorn radio hits because the movie's not good and they got to do something to get people in to see it.
Yeah.
But all in all, like it's very apparent that music plays a big part. So much so that the next musical episode we do is going to be on Ginger. Are you ready?
Yes.
Musicals.
So happy.
We are going to be talking musicals in the next
Right up
episode.
my alley.
You know, and all the different versions of musicals from Phantom of the Opera on, you know, Hamilton, Greatest Showman, Across the Universe, Chicago, Rent, The Lion King on Broadway, you know, because that was released as a movie as well. The Lion King on Broadway was. So we're going to do musical movies, not just musicals, musical movies, musicals that were turned into movies. And we will also kind of talk about movies that sometimes get turned into musicals, a.k.a. Mean Girls is an example. Shrek is an example. Aladdin is an example. So we will talk about all that in the next episode. That should be next week unless something pops off. I got to look at the calendar. Does anybody know what's coming up in the geek world, like movie-wise? We got anything good coming up? I know Mandalorian just came out, but we kind of...
Shazam is out in a couple of days.
We do kind of like avoid
2
Star
weeks.
Wars talk just because the toxic fandom is just ridiculous. Let's see when the Shazam movie comes out and if I'm going to be... Even though the entire movie gets told to you in the trailer, I hate when they do that. Comes out next Thursday. So we won't talk about that until the week after.
Yeah.
So next week we'll do the musical episode. So that'll be it. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to go to the merch store. Don't forget to check all that out. Matter of fact, let me see if I can put it in the thing. Yeah, there you go. There's the link for the merch store. You can add more time. You've still got 24 hours to add extra exorbitant time to our subathon. We are currently at 57 and a half hours, which means we'll be going till 9 a.m. Monday morning. Jesus. But we're going to do games, karaoke, just me and Ginger losing our minds, fun times. We're going to do giveaways. So you'll be able to buy raffle tickets, sort of. I got to figure that out. I'll be working on that tonight, figuring out the best way to do that. It's probably just going to be a tip donation during a certain period of time, and then we'll pick a person at random that donated during that time. It's probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we'll do like, $5 donations for a raffle ticket kind of thing. Bree thinks we're going to be staying through Raw, which would be right through Punk Driver. Don't forget, we have our new series, Monday Night Punk Drivers. Episode 3 will be this Monday. It's going to be a very interesting show if Ginger and I are still on the air come Punk Driver. Right now, we are 10 hours away from that goal. 10 hours?
Yep.
Because it starts at 7 p.m. my time, so we're set to 9 a.m. my time. Yeah, so we are 10 hours away from that goal. So that is a real possibility that during this subathon we get to that point. We may have bitten off more than we can chew, but we're going to go for it anyways. Because it's going to be fun. And you're definitely helping us out. Again, we're raising money for our trip to Houston so we can bring you guys even more content, as well as pour money back into the channel to buy equipment, buy advertising, build the channel, all that fun jazz. And the more we grow, the more we bring you good content. The more good content we bring you, the more we grow an all-inclusive and fun community, avoiding the toxicity that's out there and getting away from that. So stay tuned for that. We appreciate all of your help. I'm going to have to change the name of my studio to the Tommy Studio if he keeps this up.
Yeah. Get a memorial plaque.
Yeah. But I'm going to slide this TV over, and I may just put his picture on the TV for the entire subathon.
Coming to you live from the Tommy.
Yep.
Superbeard, Vince Hoover.
Live inside Tommy. No,
Oh.
wait.
Oh, oh no. No.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We're going to find out. Actually, before we do it, let's see who's on Twitch. Who are we going to raid? Ginger, help me out here. Find me a good channel to raid. Oh, On the Forklift are on.
Yeah, let's go to those guys.
Look, all right, we're going to raid On the Forklift. Those guys are awesome. Everybody, thank you, Bree. She's noticed it too. So please hold on. We're going to raid On the Forklift. Let's do that. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. We love you guys. Go give them some love. Go give them a follow. It'll be great. Make sure you hit up the merch store. Do all that. And, of course, starting tomorrow night at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time p.m., the subathon begins and the insanity ensues. So make sure you stick it out for that. For Kel McCosplay, Husky, Ginger Ninja, and our wonderful guest, Wilf Dream Pod, as the great Kevin Pereira says, kisses, hugs, and belly rubs. We will see you guys next week. And I got to hit the button. I got this. Bye-bye.
Hit the
Stick around.
button.
Stick around.
Just keep